Hello, welcome to the Pittsburgh Current Podcast. I am your associate publisher, Bethany Rue. Nice to see you on a Friday afternoon. We are actually coming to you from our Beachview studio because Sorgatron Media is in Michigan, I believe, on assignment. So we are here today. I'm going to get to our very special guest here in a minute. But I do want to thank, we have a sponsor for today's podcast, Just Pay Half Pittsburgh. If you go to justpayhalfpittsburgh.com, if you're looking to save money, and who isn't, there's a ton of deals, restaurants, activities. There's a bunch of stuff for Mother's Day. So make sure you check out justpayhalfpittsburgh.com. And that extra money that you save, you can spend on tickets to Feria, which is coming up next Saturday at Enix Brewing, which is a good segue to our guest. Please join me in welcoming Nicolette Pawlowski from Los Sabrosos. I knew I was going to mess up. Los Sabrosos Dance Company. Welcome, Nicolette.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. So tell us a little bit about the dance company and why you're going to be at Feria with us next weekend.
So our dance company started as a Latin dance company. It was a side project during my PhD. My partner and I founded it here. Actually, we started in downtown Pittsburgh first. And then we just kind of grew and grew. And our name means full of flavor. So as we grew, we'd like to say now we have many different flavors of dance and fitness under one roof. From like belly dance and ballroom and hip hop and kids classes from as young as literally babies to babies as old as 100. So yeah.
I like that.
But I specialize in Latin dancing. We have 4 other instructors in-house, or 5 that do Latin dancing. So that includes salsa, bachata, merengue, can be cumbia, cha-cha, and we are performing and teaching at this awesome festival.
I cannot wait. That's going to be amazing. Now, some of those dances I recognize.
Yeah.
Obviously, salsa. It's not just a food, it's a dance. But what?
Delicious dance.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's as tasty as the food. And it can be spicy too, right?
It can.
So, could you maybe break down just quickly like what some of these different dances are, what some of the characteristics of them are, like what separates like a one from another kind of thing?
So starting I guess with salsa. Salsa is this big mixture of different dance cultures that have come together to make this kind of music and dancing. The influences are from Cuban music, from African music, from jazz, American jazz, actually Puerto Ricans that moved to New York City, Nuyorican that really had a big influence.
Nuyorican?
Nuyorican.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I love that term. That's
that moved into New York City and really had a big influence to the jazz scene there. So there's just a huge mixture of wonderful flavors and rhythms in the music, and you will see that also within the dance. So it's very typically lively, has a lot of energy. It's one of my favorite dances. It feels like no matter how tired you are at the end of the day, the music comes on and it's just like you just want to move to it, you know? So that's the really great part about it. Unfortunately, some of the songs are a little sad sometimes. I don't speak Spanish that well, so when I have someone translate for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really thought that was a love song, and it's totally a breakup song. It's like country, you know, when you're like...
country of hot music. Okay, I got it.
No, but I mean, there's definitely a lot of happy music there too, but just you would never think for such a lively and energetic rhythm and just... You know, they have trumpets, they have pianos, I mean, so many different things. You're just like, oh, wow, I wouldn't even think that there'd be sadness in the lyrics. But it's a great dance, and it's danced actually all over the world. My family's from Poland, and when I've visited the tiniest villages there, I've danced salsa. Turkey is one of the largest salsa congresses in the world. Thousands of people come there just to dance. Beijing has apparently live salsa bands every single night of the week. I have students that have gone dancing in Thailand, in it just literally everywhere. So in places you would never think Latin influences would ever go in, they're like dancing it up. So France has a huge one.
Salsa's a good one that I guess to learn if you're a world traveler and you want to be able to take your skills on the road and show them off. So if anybody's planning a trip to Turkey, you should probably take a salsa class.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry, what is a congress in terms? I mean, I know what our congress is, but what's a dance congress?
A dance congress specifically is when it's just a huge dance event. It's kind of like a conference. So think of it as during the day there are workshops and the different Latin dances, and then in the evenings there are performances and socials.
Okay.
And that really just kind of depends on the size of it depends on the size of the city and the community that's bringing it together. We have a smaller one here in Pittsburgh. It's called Salsa Fuego.
Okay.
I actually helped run it. It's run under a nonprofit dance organization called the Pittsburgh Salsa Roundtable.
Okay, and we'll put links to this stuff, by the way, in the description boxes when we post it after we're done streaming. But
yeah.
Go ahead,
and so it's at the 20th Century Club. It used to always be on Martin Luther King weekend. We ran that for 8 years. But after having it for the last 3 years, like lots of snow and lots of ice, we decided to move it to July. So
yes,
next year, not this July, but the following July, 2020, the last weekend of July, we take over the entire 20th Century Club.
Okay.
We have multiple ballrooms, and there's every single type of Latin dance in-house. We bring in world champions from all over the world, but primarily in the United States, but we have had people from Sweden, from Canada. I mean, it's just awesome. Mexico. And they just basically, it's just a huge, like, salsa and like Latin dance lovers just come together to learn and dance with each other.
Is it for beginners as well? I mean, you're bringing
yes.
It's for all skill levels.
It's all
basically.
skill levels, yes.
It's called Salsa Fuego?
Yes.
Okay.
So salsafuego.org is the website.
Okay.
And you can get tickets very, very cheap in comparison to what it goes up to, because it all includes everything from all the workshops, unlimited workshops, socials till 3 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And we do a big brunch at the studio too for all the performers and instructors and volunteers. You can volunteer at the event. It's just awesome.
Wow, so Pittsburgh's a big salsa hotbed.
It is. We have right now, I would say we have about 3 or 4 nights of salsa or Latin dance nights in Pittsburgh. We used to have 7, and that was wonderful. It was just, though, sometimes a lot to choose from, especially since this is still a smaller city.
Yeah. Well, no, so you mentioned, so salsa, obviously probably the biggest, most recognizable one. But then you mentioned, I was going to say burrata, but I know that's cheese, bachata.
Bachata, yes.
Cheese though. So what is a bachata? Like, how does it differ? Is it maybe from a different region?
It is. Bachata is from the Dominican Republic, República Dominicana, and there are different styles of bachata. The more traditional Dominican style is a lot of footwork and playfulness with the feet, but you'll see sensual bachata, you'll see a lot of more body movement and body rolls. There's bachata tango, bachatango. So there's different kind of influences as it's moved across the world, but it's all really kind of started from there. And the music itself is more sensual, I would say, a little slower. And some people would say it's a little bit more of a passionate dance where you can get closer to your partner if you so choose. And it's a little bit more grounded dance. It's not as up. It's a little bit like kind of more deeper toned music.
Okay. What's another favorite or another popular one that you guys get a lot of requests
So
for?
most of the time, when you go out to a Latin club anywhere around the world, the 3 most popular dances you will see will be salsa primarily, bachata is a close second depending where it is, and then merengue is usually used in between the songs. A DJ or even a band will play one every hour, a couple in between. Merengue is also from the Dominican Republic, and it is a much faster paced music, and it's also much more fun and kind of playful. The steps are a little bit simpler, so a lot of people begin learning that way because it's a great way to just kind of get the rhythm down with your feet and be able then to play with your hands more. And it's just really, really awesome dance that also is just very lively.
Okay, is that one popular here in Pittsburgh as well?
It's also, yes. Yeah. You will hear merengue in almost every single Latin club. Okay.
Now, what are some of the maybe like the lesser known ones, but that are still pretty popular, especially like in the hardcore kind of Latin dance circles? So you will see cumbia, which is a dance that is similar to salsa, but it's more circular, and you break back instead of going forward. You don't break your back. No. That's probably what I would do, but go ahead. So it's just the rhythm is a little bouncier, I would say, and that is typically you'll see a lot more cumbia when there's a larger South American population, specifically from Mexico. You'll see a lot of Latinos who will ask our DJs, for example, hey, I want to hear cumbia. So most of the time, because at least in our crowd, we have salsa nights on Saturday nights.
most Latinos come really late, and then they'll request specifically, like, so you'll hear cumbia much more closer towards the end of the night.
Okay, so it's like a bar closing kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, a lot of people still put it in between the songs, and I mean, I've gone dancing everywhere around this country, and you'll definitely hear it everywhere, but it seems to be, like, more in the South, you'll hear a lot more cumbia. It just depends on who frequents the bars and who frequents that scene.
Okay, and no, we are focusing on Latin dancing because of Feria, but and if you don't know, which you should, Feria Festival is typically a south of Spain welcoming of spring. Is typically held after Lent. It's very colorful. There's usually some kind of horses are involved, but we can't have horses at the venue, so not this year. I know, I might still try to sneak one in. Who knows? Who knows? As long as I don't get caught with a horse in Homestead.
You can have like a little horse, on a stick.
We'll get a lot of little. If anybody wants to sponsor horses on a stick for Feria, call me. But it's at Enix Brewing, and Enix is actually owned by a family that has Spanish roots. And they've actually attended this festival, and it's actually happening right now. And I'm gonna say Seville, but that's not how you pronounce it.
Sevilla. No.
Sevilla, But anyway, but we're having it Saturday, May 18th from 2:30 to 5:30 at Enix Brewing, and we're gonna have Los Sabrosos. Did I say that right?
You did. Yes. Very nice. Yeah.
So they will be there doing a dance. They'll be performing.
And we're doing a lesson.
Yeah, and then we'll be doing a group salsa lesson with a little contest afterwards.
Yeah.
And I believe the winners are going to win a private lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And there's also going to be live Latin music. Flor de Lune, which is one of Pittsburgh's premier Latin bands, will be there. So, but I do want to say you do have other dances that you teach. All that to say, what other kind of styles do you see being popular?
Well, so that's kind of more in the Latin genre. You'll see cha-cha as well, which kind of goes both in Latin dancing and also segues into ballroom, and we do ballroom dances in-house as well. We have several ballroom instructors, and they each have like kind of specialties, but really they all like waltz, Viennese waltz, jive, foxtrot, swing, all that stuff kind of falls under there too. Occasionally we'll do ballroom socials, and every first Friday of the month we have a group called the Pittsburgh Tangueros. They host a tango milonga in our space as well. So the first Fridays, we're on Penn Avenue, our studio where it moved to. We have like a storefront property right on Penn, and we're
which part of Penn? Which neighborhood?
So we are right on the cusp. Technically, on our side of the street is Garfield. Across the street is Friendship. On the other corner is Lawrenceville. So we're right at a great juncture. I love this. Yeah. I love our space. We're at our row is all women-owned businesses actually. So it's really awesome. It's completely by happenstance. But there's gluten-free goat bakery next to us, Mixtape Cocktail and Lounge.
My friends at Mixtape. Hi, Mixtape. I love this.
Mixtape is fantastic. So we have a really great kind of group going there. And so we'll do the first Friday of every month is called Unblurred on Penn Avenue. Yep. And so we are a part of that, and the tango night happens during that night. So it's really awesome.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And then you do have, I noticed, you do have a salsa night that you guys do as well.
Yes, every Saturday night.
Okay.
Yeah. So it starts most of the time. The doors open at 9:30 p.m.
And anybody can come to this, right?
Anyone can come to this. Yes. We have people that have told me they have 3 left feet, and then I go, well, we have students that come in with wheelchairs, so you got really no excuse.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Exactly. So 9:30 p.m. doors open. 9:45 typically there's a mini crash course lesson. Sometimes we start a little bit later because we get a lot of phone calls, people running late. And it's just a little 15-minute lesson in salsa and bachata, just like a little taste, so that people have a little bit to go on as they want to dance the rest of the night. We take out chairs and tables on the sides, and then we basically go till 2 a.m. or until it gets really slow. We average anywhere from 40 people to 100 and something people a night. So it can get, each weekend is a little different. We sometimes do theme nights or performances. We also do fundraisers during that time. So this Saturday is actually, we're doing a fundraiser for our advanced salsa team called Fuerza Steel. They're going to New York Salsa Congress. They're performing there. in a couple weeks. So they need a little bit of help with their like travel costs and stuff like that. So we're raising the door price. Usually our cover is $7. When it's a fundraiser or a special event, it's $10. And so a portion of that goes to whatever that fundraiser is for.
Okay, so now is this something people would bring like their own bottle of wine to?
Yeah, so we are BYOA.
Okay.
Bring your own alcohol. We have mixers and juices at the bar, also glasses and water. So yes, you can bring your own alcohol. Sometimes we're even open to like if you bring appetizers or something for yourself to eat. We're next to so many restaurants and places that stay open late, so it's really nice to be able to just munch on something. The most popular thing I would say for our salsa night is with bachelorette groups. A lot of them come out, or like college students. So we do let we're of all ages. If you are under 18, you do need to bring a parent. But we get a lot of college students that come in as well. But we also get people from all over. We have a nursing home once came and brought their people.
That's awesome.
So just like to expose people and just dance it up. We had some months ago a group of people in their 70s and 80s that have completely they're like, we're retired. They came in like cowboy hats, reserved a whole table, and they had like 20 people, and they traveled the country and just go like hop from one state to the other and check out just different interesting things in each city.
That's a good hashtag life goal.
I know,
awesome.
Seriously.
Wow.
So it's really awesome. We're very it's a very friendly scene, I would say. Everyone dances with everyone else. Most of the time, people do not come with a partner, so that's usually the number one question we get. Do I need a partner?
No,
you do not. And everyone, the typical etiquette is, let's say I ask you to dance, we finish the dance and say thank you so much, and then I go and ask someone else, and you go and ask someone else. Most people do not dance multiple dances with each other unless you like that person, whether the dancing or a little bit something different, or you just really enjoyed the dance, or you're with that person. But most of the time, even people that aren't couples will be dancing with everyone else as well. It's just a very social kind of way to.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
So, and it's good for like maybe Pittsburgh newcomers or area newcomers too.
Yes.
To maybe get out and meet some people. That's awesome.
We get a lot of people that travel for conferences, and they're just like, oh, I saw that you have salsa night. I go dancing in blah blah blah, DC or Seattle or whatever, and they just wanted to come out and check out the scene. And so we did get almost every week we have someone from a different city.
That's
just
awesome. That keeps your Saturday nights fresh and fun.
It does, yeah.
Now, just transitioning to yourself, Nicolette. So you are a Chicago native.
I am.
Like city of Chicago.
Yes.
Not one of those suburb things. The actual city. So how did you journey to Pittsburgh? I know we were talking before we started, and you said you fell in love with it, but what even gave you the opportunity to fall in love with us?
So one of my best friends from high school actually moved here years before me, and she was always asking me to come and visit. And we had a couple other friends here as well. And so I did. I came here and visited. There was someone that I kind of thought was cute for a little bit, and then just lasted for a month. But I went and visited here, and then I stayed with my best friend for about a week. And I just thought this city was amazing. And then I started having really funny coincidences with Pittsburgh. So my area during the time I was finishing my master's at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And my area is in sex education, and my professors told me point blank that I needed to get a full-time job in order to support my research, because most of the time specifically sex education is not really funded in this country. If you want in research areas,
right.
Normally if you get funding, it's typically like through a psychological realm or sexual deviance realm. But my area is all about education within schools and really like K through nursing homes. Kindergarten through nursing homes. Sorry, I'm a K through 12. And there's not a lot of funds there for that. So I was running Los Sabrosos. Actually started as a volunteer nonprofit, and none of us made money on it. We were just all volunteering to teach at the University of Wisconsin. And someone was like, well, why don't you just run a dance company? Like, support yourself by doing basically what you're doing, just charge money. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. But Madison's beautiful. It's a beautiful city, but it's a college city. It's a college town. And I wanted something a little different. So when I visited here, I randomly met this this doctor at the University of Pittsburgh, and she was like, oh, just give me your information in case of anything, like I'll let you know if something opens up. And so I was actually, my parents bought me a gift of sending me to Poland to see family as a graduation gift from my master's. And when I was in Poland, I got an email from this professor at the University of Pittsburgh that a sex educator position had opened up at the University of Pittsburgh and that I had to go and submit my resume. So I did. I interviewed in Poland. It was 9 p.m. in Poland. It was 3 p.m. in Pittsburgh for like an hour and a half, and they loved me, and they're like, we need one more interview. And that for me was just like my sign. I was like, that's it. I'm moving to Pittsburgh. I'll open up a studio. You know, I hope I will get this job. I didn't. They thought I was a little too liberal.
We don't.
I mean, they had this question for me of whether or not I was comfortable teaching abstinence only, and my response is I have no problem teaching abstinence, but within an entire curriculum, because the majority of people will eventually, at some point in their lives, probably 99% of them have sex in some way, or all of them know someone that's having sex. So just even to pass on that information is very important. And so they didn't like that answer. So,
but you're still here.
I'm still here. So I had a week. I flew from Madison to Pittsburgh. I had 1 week. I had the interview. I had to find an apartment, find a dance studio, and find a dance partner. I did it all in 1 week.
Because you have a lot of energy. I don't know if people could pick up on that. But Nicolette has a lot of energy. Now, to tie this back to the dance company, though. So our summer guide is coming out on Tuesday, next Tuesday, and it is chock full of everything that you could possibly think of to do this summer. Including summer camps. I know I'm a parent. When school's out, I'm looking for things to do with my 8-year-old because it's illegal to leave him at home by himself. So, there's a ton of summer camps going on, including some at Los Sabrosos. So, and I know that there's one in particular that ties in. And if you think about it, sex education and dance probably go together fairly well. I think there's a lot of parallels there.
There's definitely a lot of parallels.
But you have this very specific class, summer camp that you've come up. It's really interesting. I'd love to hear more about it.
It is an empowerment camp. So all of our dance camps tie in activities and crafts that have nothing to do with dance, and then also in some ways some dancing. But this one specifically is really not as much dance involved as more exposing everyone to nutrition, their bodies, sexual health, communication, healthy relationships. We do dream journaling. We take them to the park. It's all about, and we'll use dance, and including in all the other camps, we use dance as a way to also teach people about their bodies, to get comfortable with themselves. I mean, you'd be surprised. I have had men and women who've come to the studio in their 60s and 70s who've broken down in like private lessons, for example, crying, saying, you know, they've never felt comfortable with themselves. They've never felt comfortable moving. And so it's so important to start teaching that when kids are kids, when we, from a much younger age, because we start to have a lot of insecurities about our bodies, especially starting in like middle school. So this is kind of what the camps are trying to address a bit. We have multiple instructors that will be teaching this, and this is a big passion of mine. So each of the camps are only a week long. We have 7 of them, and so each week it's either a different kind of group or specifically age. We have little kids that are, I believe, from 2 to 7, and these are not like hardcore age requirements. It's just more we would like them to be potty trained and to follow some set of directions. But we have some people that have called us that have said, my daughter's sister, the sister is a little bit older, but can I still sign them up? Totally. Like, this is not a required age. And then the other ones are for the big kids, starting typically at 8 to 15, age 15 or 16. And the empowerment camp is just from about 9-10 until age 15 as well. So each of them, there's like a Disney camp. So each day in those 5 days, each one has a different theme of a different Disney movie, like Moana and Aladdin.
Is 43 considered a kid if like somebody wanted to sign on?
Oh, totally. Well, you could do lessons. So we do, for adults, we're doing all our regular classes anyway during this time, including private lessons and group classes. And our adult classes are typically in the evenings, or private lessons we teach from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. But we have a Bachata Nueva class, which is bachata, but set to like pop music. So a lot of people really like that dance. And it's a different way to just kind of like, okay, night. I want to be able to groove and move in my car when I'm like listening to music, and this is a great way to kind of connect those two, the Latin dance and just pop music. We do Vixen Workout. We have this workout class.
Wow.
It's for hip hop. And the whole point, they actually close the curtains in the studio. This is a very kind of more private workout where you put on like, they recommend you put on red lipstick, whether men or women, doesn't matter. Put on your best clothes, whatever you want. And this idea is you're the diva in your own like music video. And so the instructor goes over the different moves and you follow along, but it's all about like strutting your stuff and like getting comfortable in your own skin without being in a very judgment-free environment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so bringing it back to the dance.
Yes.
So your partner, I know, her dance partner, got stuck at work.
Yeah.
But Nicolette is going to still show us some of the moves.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
So, I mean, maybe if you want to maybe start off with like a salsa move, something that people might expect that they could see at Feria.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me just show the basic step to kind of also, I think a lot of people they get a little bit like, oh my gosh, it's complicated. It really isn't. All of the movements are exactly as if you're walking. You're transferring your weight from one foot to the other. It's just in place that we're doing it. So it should feel funky. I always say you'd be an alien if it feels completely normal. So I just stand right here.
Yeah, here, I'll move this out of your way. And if people are at work right now, I want you to stand up at your desk. You need a break.
Bam.
Stretch, and I want you to do these along with Nicolette, okay?
So what we're going to do is it's just a side basic. Okay, so, and I'm going to face this way so that you can do it along with me. We're going to place our weight on our right foot, and you're going to step out on your left, out. You're going to change your mind, and then you're going to come back to center. All your weight is now on your left leg. You're going to step out on your right, change your mind, come back to center. That's literally it. So the way I like to explain salsa dancers in a nutshell, they are super indecisive constantly, right? Like, think about it. You step out, you're like, no, I want to come back here. Step out, no, I want to come back here. So you're just constantly shifting from one side to the other. So we're going left, center together, and right, center together, and left, center together, and right, center together. So easy peasy. That is a side basic, and it's in almost every style of salsa, whether you're doing Cuban style or on one or on two. I mean, this is almost universal. And the biggest thing you want to think about is just keeping your steps under your body and under your shoulders so that you don't step on anyone unless you intend to step on them, because, you know,
they might be a jerk.
Then make it like with intention, right? But it's all about, and the biggest thing people are always like, oh, Latin dance is about the hips. When we first start teaching it a bit, we actually say it's about the knees, because as you bend and straighten your knees, your hips move. And so if you think about it, just keep bending and straightening your knees as you shift from one foot to the other, and your hips. Of course, you can accentuate it and go a little bit deeper, but that's really the basis of it initially. Then we can get into all the points of it later.
All right, now what about the bruschetta?
Bachata.
Yes.
Yes.
So cheese on the bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
So bachata.
Bachata.
The difference with bachata is that they do a tap. As in, there's a moment where I put my foot and use my foot, but I don't place and shift my weight on it. Okay. So for the first three steps, we're doing out, together, out, and then I tap on the fourth beat, and then I use the same foot that I just tapped to go to the side. Out, together, out, and tap. So it is left, and tap, and right, and tap, and 1, 2, 3, and tap, and 5, 6, 7, and tap.
I could totally see you teaching a class, by the way. You're such a natural. I love it.
So it's a really very simple movement, and you can do it in any direction. You could even do it in place. A lot of bachata songs, especially now, more modern ones, have really long intros that are very melodic and awesome, but they're like, oh, I can't hear the bachata beat. And so you could totally do this in place as well. So it's a very nice way to just kind of get introduced to Latin dancing. Okay,
and now what is one move that you would do if you were going to show off? And I know it's hard without your partner, because I know a lot of it is partner-based, right? Yeah. I'm sure. But if there was one move that you were just going to like whip out to like get that guy across the room to want to come salsa with you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, first off, I think to get anyone across the room, go and ask them to dance. I have a lot of women that say to me, no, I'm waiting for them to ask me to dance. This is not a thing anymore, ladies.
Yeah.
Like,
get up and ask.
You want to dance, especially, I mean, of course, if you want to go and ask them out on a date, then maybe, you have your own opinion, but it's a dance. It's just 3 to 4 minutes max. You're not signing a contract. You're not, like, agreeing to anything else except, hey, want to dance?
I do, but not right now. But I will want to.
Which is totally fine, too. I mean, I also think I get a lot of people who say, oh, my gosh, I'm worried that they're going to say no. I will never. I've had people who've said, they said no, and I will never ask them to dance again, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
First off, sometimes people are just not in the mood at that moment. Maybe they need to go to the bathroom. Maybe they're just in the middle of a conversation. They're waiting for a drink. Like, give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
At least give them 3 tries
The
on different
three-strike
days.
roll.
Yes.
Do the 3-strike roll. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So like, if I was standing next to a bar or something and I was having a moment where I'm thinking, should I ask someone?
Yeah.
Maybe just in place. You can always tell if someone is, into the music, if they're like their feet are moving from one foot to the other. I mean, showing off, if you're on the floor, styling out with your hands is really nice, especially if you do so. Let's say, like, you go into a turn and 5, 6, and you can see if they're touching their body or themselves, then you know that they're more comfortable with their body, and they might be able to really communicate that more when they're dancing with someone. So whenever we talk about with both men and women, when we do styling for people, everyone's always uncomfortable, right? Like no one like walks like this, right? when they're going, hey, that'd be awesome. But unfortunately they don't, and so when we first start, it's very, very awkward. And so you just need to think, just practicing it out and using it and being comfortable touching yourself. And this is kind of where I think there are similarities with sexuality and dancing. Getting more into your body, getting more comfortable that the more you can extend from within your body and outwards, the fuller a movement looks, the more you can communicate it to your partner. That's just really awesome and important.
Oh, well, I'll let you pull your stool back up. That was great. I was briefly considering and then decided not to get up and try to do that with you for a multitude of reasons.
Oh, come on.
But I will be.
We even have little ones that do salsa.
I will be.
And you said you have an 8-year-old.
I do have an 8-year-old, and he's got better.
I have 8-year-olds in my little kids salsa classes.
But I will be doing the class, the group lesson at Feria. I'm going to do that probably because I'll have a couple drinks in me. But,
which is totally fine.
But that's something that'll follow. So, Nicolette, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Los Sabrosos, we're going to have the website and everything. And
our short version is lspgh.com. We have a really long one, but lspgh.com, that's the easiest one to do.
Lots to check out. Make sure you come and see them at Feria. Come see us. We are going to have a Mother's Day flash sale on the tickets. Oh, yes. Keep your eyes peeled if you haven't got your tickets yet. Sunday might be a good day to check it out. We are, by the way, I'm in our studio, and for those of you that are missing Charlie today, he's here. He's been here the whole time. Say hi, Charlie. There he is. Hi, Charlie. Ask him how much work he's gotten done with all this happening right here.
There you go.
0, he said, goose egg. But me and Charlie are going to be at Three Rivers Comic Con this weekend. I'll be there tomorrow, so come and see me. And I'll be giving away a pair of tickets to Feria to somebody that I think you have to sign up for. I haven't decided maybe I'll make you salsa for your tickets. We'll see. Yeah. But I'll be there Saturday. Charlie will be there Sunday, and he's asking comic illustrators to bring their work because we are always hiring comics for our comic pages. We have full spread comics in every issue. Yeah, and Charlie wants to see your stuff, your comics, to be clear. So whatever he said. So either or. If you're coming on Sunday, make sure you bring your comics to show Charlie. And again, I want to thank our sponsors. Just Pay Half Pittsburgh. JustPayHalfPittsburgh.com. Make sure you go there for deals. I bet that you can find somewhere to take your mom for Mother's Day. And you don't even have to tell her that you paid half. It could be our secret. And I think that's it. So, Nicolette, thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you at Feria.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you at Feria.